Happy spooky season, everybody. I have my mug. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Kayla.
I'm Chris.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Steven.
Even at the end, he will still do his little space gap, which is great. And we're the Fake Divinities, a channel dedicated to Daggerheart, both playing and running, which is the new tabletop RPG from Darrington Press and Critical Role that is currently in version 1.5 and available to play, but is also in the final stages of development for release in spring of 2025. Lots of us are kind of debating when that will actually be, but it's coming to you very soon and it's available for pre-order now. We have taken we've taken a while off from our game on this channel. We closed right before Gen Con, which was in August, right? Oh my gosh, is that true? Oh my gosh.
God.
Yeah.
That's
a
so
long
long.
time.
Yeah, it feels crazy, but yes, that is in point of fact true. Hi Ledesmas. I love you guys. We took a break first because of my brain, and we have still been playing Daggerheart off stream the entire time. Well, some of it has been on stream. You guys have followed us with Steven's adventure. Then some of us were doing other stuff off stream that I just won't talk about because I'm very nervous about paperwork. But this specific show has been on hiatus. It went longer than it was expected to be. Thank you guys for hanging in there with us. But we are officially back, baby. So, yeah. Yeah, 100%. So, for the foreseeable future, unless things happen, we're going to be back in our Monday schedule, 6:30 Pacific, doing our actual play stuff, and we are getting back into the swing of things. Because it's been literally 2 months, guys, a full 2 months since our game, we're going to settle back in. Some of us need reset stuff. A lot of that is me, by the way. A lot of the person who needs reset is me. So I've given kind of an agenda to everyone, but we're going to go ahead and jump into that today, okay? So first things first, guys, I want to do a recap of where we have been and where we are, okay? So that we all kind of come back together, guys. First, does anybody remember the first location that we were in?
The
That-
ship.
Of course.
The ship?
The ship?
Are we talking about the very
Sablewood?
Very first. The
Before
Sablewood.
the Sablewood?
Okay,
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
in the town
Okay.
of Hush is where we
Mhm.
started. We were coming from what effectively is Cerulia, the city of welcome. Remember, we built a map together, and you had been kind of dispatched by Marlo Fairwind, the sorceress, the principal sorceress to Cerulia and the king, his majesty, to go to the town of Hush, deep in the Sablewood, to restore the wards to a ward stone that keeps the city safe, although you didn't know that at the time. You traveled into the Sablewood and you got to the town of Hush, having been ambushed by some banditsy kind of folk on the way, thistle folk they were. In the town, you met all kinds of people and then found your way to the Whitefire Arcanist. The Whitefire Arcanist, now but lovingly called Grandmother, I think. Some of us consider her grandmother at this point. A creepy old firefly of an arcanist who did have the abilities to re-enchant the ward stone itself, taking you to a clearing where you guys held off the undead scourge while she empowered that stone. You did that successfully. Jimbo, one of your party, did briefly pass on. Which is now, I think, a good time to introduce all of your characters. So, Kayla, let's start with you. Who are you playing?
I am playing Nora Fiddleleaf, and she is a princess of Black Gum Hollow, which we recently had to save. She lost her dad, lots of madness and stuff going on there. But yeah, she's just a funny, silly, goofy little frog out here having adventures, shirking her responsibilities, not paying attention over there. That's her.
Absolutely. Pay no attention to the responsibilities lurking in the ever-present distance, and when we get to the next part, some of it closer than we had thought, which is great. Let's talk about Chris, your character.
I'm playing Tank Molarson. My friends call me Tankerbell. I'm an aspiring Tooth Fairy. I'm a warrior called the Brave. And I got off my little island from the old Isle of the Old Gods, I think it was called. It's been a little while, a couple months. So from a far off island where a bunch of fairies live, came onto the mainland to pursue my dreams, and linked up with these band of adventurers.
Yeah, you absolutely did. It was a very exciting time. I'm realizing now, guys, and again, it's so good that we're getting back into the swing of things because I have all of the character art too. So I'm going to be sharing that. You're seeing Tankerbell on the screen. Remember, this was from friend of the channel, Bugaloo. Her commissions are still open if you need anyone. And I am very briefly going to toggle back to showcase Anura, our Ribbet bard. She's so cute. Very wonderful. Yeah, and great point, Lasombra, that our emotes are characters as well. We're gonna go ahead and skip over and talk about Tedeos real quick. Tedeos, do you want to introduce yourself and who you've been playing?
I am Tedeos. I am a Simiah Ranger. I have a companion animal named Wilbert, but you can call us Ted and Bill or Bill and Ted, however you want to say it. We are from the Yin Tree. We're a clan of peacekeepers, one might say, a diplomatic area where nobles and royals come to kind of talk and smooze among our hot springs.
That's fantastic, and this is a great kind of segue into our final character who we have played with through the entirety of our stream journey, who also was from a similar area. Do you want to talk about Jimbo?
Justin, I was playing, or I'm not, the artist formerly known as Jimbo. Jimbo was a dwarf from, basically right below the Yin Tree, as him and his family lived down there in the mines. He got banished from there for some reason, sent away, and he was, just exploring, hanging out with his friends, doing cool activities, a lot of traveling. Things didn't go so well on that airship on our way back. But yeah,
I'm still mad about that.
Yeah, we're gonna get there, guys.
Very fun.
Yeah, we're gonna relive every painful part of this journey, although we're gonna do it in a very quick way, guys, very briefly. So that is your cast. So when I tell you that Jimbo had a struggle in that initial boss encounter, in the clearing, restoring that ward stone of the city, it's important to note that that happened because actually Jimbo was given a reprieve from death in that moment, because it was our very first experiences with Daggerheart. The glimpse, a faint divinity, which you'll recognize from our show title. A faint divinity in Daggerheart are these lesser deities and gods that kind of still exist and hang out on the mortal plane and inside of these realms, despite the fact that most of the gods have either been banished to the hells, which are the circles below, or absconded to the heavens. The glimpse, Our Lady Glimpse, mistress of the eyes and of dreaming, she, in that moment, realizing that it was not Jimbo's time and having a connection to the Whitefire Arcanist, came out from the woodwork and granted him a reprieve. He was protected from his imminent doom and came back to life. So we gave him a second shot at it, which is important to note. So after that point, though, we just progressing to the next main story arc. Anura, you got a kind of an important message, right?
I did, from my sister. Yes, I got a little phone call.
Yep.
The first in line for the crown. She was saying there was some weird stuff happening. I needed to come see her. We went on a journey. We found a boat that ate things or not. We don't know.
You absolutely did. You went to Anura, again, highborn Ribbet Bard, Princess Fiddleleaf herself, traveled back to her home in the Blue Marshes on Blackgum Hollow, and initially found that there was a plague sweeping the area, a mysterious fog that was causing people to lose their minds. And through an adventure, which again is available for you guys to watch, they realized that Liliana, her sister, was lost. And so was the rest of your family. But after adventuring through and unlocking some secrets of the island, you realized that it all came full circle on an island to the west called the Isle of New Morn. So, you went to that island, you found your family, and had to defeat a cultist, Cassandra, who, hailing from parts unknown and having infiltrated your island nation, was sacrificing your family to an old god that had existed over the Blue Marshes for a long time.
Pretty messed up. Yeah.
It was pretty messed up.
Some bad shenanigans.
It was pretty messed up. Yeah, absolutely it was. That this old god, who had, of course, been banished to the circles below, was defeated, or at least locked back behind the gate to this realm. But not before, although Jimbo fared just fine. Anura did lose.
Father. He's gone. The king.
The king. King Florian Fiddleleaf. Yeah. So I'm 2 for 2 at this point, guys. That's the second boss fight, and I killed a second person. This one, an NPC, very close and near and dear to my players' families. Yeah. It was a great time. So, of course, in those final moments, you also were blessed by
Saint Faerie. Yes.
Saint Faerie, who used to overlook and oversee the Blackgum Hollow area that you were from, and also was a woman of legend and myth. Murderers, says Cosmic Wolf 55. Absolutely. And I'll do it again. And I did. Because after finalizing and establishing what would happen here on the island, your mother, Bedelia, Queen Bedelia, taking ownership of the island while Liliana is preparing herself to ascend to the throne, you got a call from an old familiar friend, Marlo Fairwind again.
My bestie. In the game, not in real life.
That's exactly right, because I would kill her. I will kind of bitch.
You murder her too.
We're wrapping up our recap because that is our 2 first arcs, and we're on to the 3rd and final arc before we closed off. Again, Marlo Fairwind had called you, Anura, and let you know, hey bestie, the wards on this stone aren't working. Now, it's given us enough juice to keep the wards on the city intact for a short while, but we really need it bulked up. We need it to be more empowered. So she asked you to travel to the Kinekozan Jags, which are a mountainous area far to the east. And to do that, she had found you space on a royal airship, captained or commanded, I would say, by Commander Augustus Kane. And they picked you up right from Blackgum Hollow. And because of an invention, the silver engine aboard this royal airship, the R.A.S Windfall, because of this invention, a journey that should take a week would take 2 days, not but 2 days. By the way, anybody who was at Gen Con or has played Marauders of Windfall, you know the twist that's coming. So spoiler alerts for anybody who doesn't know that tale. This is where you're going to want to click out. I will put the stamp that you should go to down below. So pause and jump. So aboard the ship, You all made fast friends with some of the crew. They seem to be lovely people. Absolutely not the piratey vibe that you were hoping for. You were hoping more of a military detail. And very selective, I would say, about the knowledge behind the silver engine. But you fighting off a pair of wyverns actually ingratiated you even more into the Commander Augustus Kane's good graces. Him with dimple of cheek and floofy of hair. You guys will remember that I referred to him as a Jack Harkness kind of a guy. This will come into play.
Or the face of bow.
Face of bow. Absolutely. Good point. Yeah. So, you were invited to the commander's table. At the commander's table, by the way, you did see a glimpse into maybe a darker side of Augustus Kane when he found the secret to a glowing golden orb that they believed to have been a map to treasure elsewhere, and very clearly said that he was excited that he would be able to get there first before Calliope Crimson, scourge of the air seas herself. And that promptly ended with the ship going into a combat scenario because she'll always arrive on time. Calliope, on her Crimson Cloud, an airship with red sails, collided into it and, jumping onto the deck, clarified that she was here to collect a prisoner that had been taken. I do want to note for you guys in the party that during this, that map had fallen to the ground. Someone in your group had collected that. I don't recall who it was.
I think it was me.
Wasn't I?
Yeah.
All right, fantastic.
Or
All
at
right.
least I solved it.
Yeah, so, yeah, you did solve it. And it's fine. Whoever grabs it is okay. Just remember that you have that, okay? You have what is effectively a treasure map. So, you had then collected yourselves and fought alongside the commander for a short time before he ordered you to give chase to Calliope Crimson into the belly of the ship itself. When you went down there, you found a Galapa sorceress who had been chained to what was the silver engine and was powering it to move so quickly. The secret behind the silver engine was
Slavery.
Yeah, it was slavery.
Very
So
fast turtle.
that's a very fast hurdle. That's exactly right. So as part of that, guys, we're closing in here. You decided to take a stand against Nazis. You sure did. Against slavery, against human trafficking. And so when Augustus Kane came in and explained to your party that they're not humans, they're pirates, you all entered the fray with Augustus Kane. And you did defeat him in an epic moment. I think his head got shot pretty clear off, which will come into play. But in that scuffle, the brief reprieve that we were given for our good friend Jimbo came to an end. And so far above the Sablewood, maybe you would have had a chance to say goodbye to the glimpse, but she could not protect you from up here. So, Jimbo, Justin, we've now explained why you have no character art, though I am showing Jimbo in memoriam on the screen. But that's why it's TBD, and that's why it's question marks. Boom, headshot. Yeah, it was wild, everybody. So, after that point, you did gather the body of your friend up. You raced to the upper decks, now understanding that you are likely, because remember, this is a royal airship. This is also the talk of the city of Cerulean. We don't really know what the threads and layers behind all of this are, but you did board the Crimson Cloud. Again, Calliope, the captain, she's there. and you are now having soared far beyond the path of the R.A.S Windfall, because the Windfall no longer has our good Galapa friend Del there to power the ship. You are going much faster, and you realize the power was always inside of them, Del themselves. That's where you end off. Are there any pieces, guys, that y'all want to add or touch on? I know that there were little pieces from each person's history along the story. Is there anything that y'all have present in your mind that you want to talk about?
It's a great recap.
It was a good one. Very comprehensive.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ted and Jimbo were longtime friends because they're from the same place. I think that was something we forgot to mention in the backstory bit.
This is very
Well,
valuable.
he had recently been crowned as part of the, protection to the crown with his brown hat.
Brown hats.
Now it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Kayla was
Just
not
left
happy.
me in the open.
Kayla was not happy
Yeah.
at Jimbo's
I'm
death.
still not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
could
I
have
was
probably
attached
acted a
to
lot
that
better
dirty
than
little old man.
the dirty little old man is wild. Love it. Incredible. Yeah.
I could have handled that better, but yeah, y'all's reaction was cracking me up the whole time.
It was great. It was good stuff.
Mm.
Kayla.
Still mad.
Yes.
We'll stay mad.
Fine. Yep. So this is where we're gonna get, by the way, is there anything else y'all want to add to backstory stuff that you feel, because it's been 2 months, guys, so you will not just be refreshing yourselves, you'll be refreshing me, you'll be refreshing your friends, you'll be refreshing the audience. Is there anything you want to add to this kind of piece?
Jimbo is an honorary member of the Yin clan. When he got kicked out from his place where he lived underneath. We called that the Yang Roots, I think. We ingratiated him with our family, and then we left, and that's why we were adventuring. When Jimbo died, Ted and Bill are very sad. I have talked to each one of you individually since the events of this, and all of you have had reactions, which are going to come into play with stuff. But Ted, Stephen, I know that Ted took that really hard. Do you want to are you okay with me sharing a little bit of our conversation? I won't share what you're gonna do. Yeah, no, you can talk about what you want to. You can tell him.
Well, Stephen, one of the things he had asked me was, does Ted stay with the party after this? Or is he so heartbroken that at the next town he takes Jimbo's body back home and goes and finds, ties up Jimbo's story, finds his family, tells his family, returns him to the Yin Tree? That was a possible plot point. Now, Stephen has currently decided against that. And he's going to honor his friend in a different way. But that was one of the things for you.
Everyone's ready to try out them new classes.
Yeah. The final brain cell said, feels like Ted needs a big hug. Everybody bring it in. Everybody bring it in.
Yeah. Well, guys, remember, Ted's got Bill. Bill's his after Jimbo, Bill's his closest,
support.
His emotional support animal.
Emotional support rooster. Yep. Yeah. So guys, that is where we are at this point. So, however, for those of you who whoopsies, everybody ignore that. Those of you who were here for our interview, that's fine. But those of you who weren't, ignore it. So this is a great point to note that anyone who survived leveled up to level 4. Now, we're going to talk about, Justin's here, guys. He's going to come back into the game. We're not going to leave our friend out, but we're going to leave his stuff a little bit.
We just want him to watch in person.
Yeah, really punish him for doing this to us. Yeah. So
do my reactions.
Yeah, exactly. So, guys, we're leveling up. We're just going to talk about what we did to level up in Daggerheart. When you level up, you are given a myriad of options based on your class. You could do things like boost your traits, you could boost experiences, you can increase proficiency, armor, health, etc. Since you guys are going to level 4, I do also want to note this. Daggerheart is broken up into 4 tiers of play. Tier 1 is just level 1. Tier 2 is levels 2, 3, and 4. This is the final level of Tier 2. So the next time you level up, we'll be going into Tier 3, which is pretty crazy. So who wants to start out and say what you chose as your level up options? Does anybody remember also? If you don't, that's okay.
I pulled mine up because I didn't, but I have mine ready, so I can take off if other people won't need a second to get theirs.
Yeah.
So at level 4, we increase damage thresholds, the severe by 2, so that happens.
Yep.
In my level up options, I decided to take increased traits. I increased my finesse and my instinct. And then my secondary level up option, I chose to choose an additional domain card. And I took boost, which if you have an ally in close range of you, mark a stress to boost off them into the air and perform an aerial attack to an enemy within far range. You have advantage on the attack and add an additional 1d10 to the damage at the end of your attack action. You are in melee range of the target. So it just like launches me to somebody.
Good choice. I picked the same one.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Yep.
We're gonna be bouncing off each other like
We're gonna be flying out there.
This is so good. I love this because Chris's Tankerbell like has like Carney vibes. So this very much feels like 2 strongmen plus Simiah. That's
Yeah.
perfect. I love that.
Shot out of a cannon.
So good.
See, when you're playing to jump off a Bill.
yeah. It's always I got my companion and Bill. And with my companion at every level, I get to choose another thing for him. At level 4, I chose armored, so my armor score increases by 2 whenever my companion is within melee. So as long as Bill's like right up near me, I got an additional armor.
Wow, that is cool. Okay, I love that. That is wow. That's very cool. Okay, all right.
We love an armored rooster.
I decided, guys, that I would go ahead and share some of this stuff, by the way. Just because it's just, I want to follow along.
It's so cool.
I want to follow along
It's so
anyway,
cool.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm going to go ahead and just I want to take a look at boost. So that is a level 4.
Level 4, and it's, bone.
Wow.
So.
Okay, it's right there. So guys, here's the card. And again, I know if you're on YouTube later, you're going to get spoiled because I'm going to do the whole card cutout and everything. But that's very cool. just stress. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Which again.
Yeah, pretty cheap.
Yeah, fairly cheap.
Wow. Very
Does not hurt you in this version either.
Yeah. On previous versions it did.
They already mentioned it on YouTube, I think, so it's already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone knows it's coming.
It's fine. It's all fine. Boost is very cool. Okay, cool. All right. And then, looking up at those options, I know that you already talked about them. Is there anything else you needed to talk about, Stephen, as part of your level up stuff?
I think I might have done it beforehand, but my experiences, I did change one of them out.
Yeah.
So I think before it was something keen eye of a traitor or something like that. I took that out because I feel like the experience 2 is better than 1, fits more for my build with Bill and Ted always being like right up near each other.
Very good. Yeah. And remember, guys, that's not even something we're just allowing to happen as part of our home game or anything. Daggerheart has
That's the rules.
Yeah. If you
Them's the rules.
Them's the rules. You can change your experiences out. Okay. Great. Okay. Cool. So that's our our ranger. We won't see anything from a rogue, you guys.
Too soon.
All right. Who wants to go next? Kayla, Chris?
I can go next, I guess, because I also leveled up 2 months ago.
Yes. That's
So
right.
I
know,
ended up
yeah.
taking 2 domain cards as well. I took Brace, which we already looked at. And then I took Fortified Armor, which increases your armor score by +2 when you're wearing armor, and this card is in your loadout. Once per short rest, you may use an armor slot without marking it. I know going forward, I'll probably rework my guy. I think after playing a ton of Daggerheart, building evasion is not very satisfying in this game to me.
Yeah.
So I'll probably go a different route and play more of like a
Yep.
thorny warrior who is more retaliatory. So when I take hits, I mark stress hit back just to like double up on turns, especially in this. You can exchange actions for fear, so I think it's good economy to be able to attack you without using an action.
Which one was that?
Retaliation?
Retaliation. Okay.
Yeah, that's a level 1 ability.
Oh, that's a level 1. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I took Fortified Armor and then Boost.
Yeah, retaliation. So you got the fortified armor, which is cool because that's that +2 while you're wearing armor, and this card is in your loadout. That's right there on
I'm gonna
screen,
try to
guys.
just boost dive bomb into as many enemies as I can and use my opportunity attacks to keep them from moving to my party. It's gonna be like my little off way of tanking.
Yeah,
That's cool.
that is very cool. Okay. Do you remember any of the other level up options you chose? I know it's been such a long time.
Oh yeah, I got my whole thing up here. So I got what did I take? I took an HP slot.
Oh,
Because I think
very
with this
smart.
build, I'm going to be running through HP pretty
Okay.
well, because you kind of want to take hits so that you can hit them back.
That's the Wilhelmina Road, guys. Yeah. And remember, guys, nobody has seen what is the final version of Daggerheart yet. That won't come out until spring of 2025. This is another place where it's important to note that we feel that evasion should be bumped. So we'll see how that happens in the final thing, but you can see that we have players at our table choosing to not go evasion build because it doesn't seem to pan out.
It's fun,
Especially with all the
but
reaction
it's just
rolls.
not so fun.
Yeah.
Ooh, the final rain cell says Faerie Cannonball. I like it. Absolutely. 100%. Yeah.
Let me zoom in.
Boy, that.
Yeah. All right, great. So, Kayla, we're on to you. What did you choose?
So I picked to increase my major damage threshold and then get another hit point.
Great.
And then on my card, instead of doing another melee or not melee attack spell, I went with Soothing Speech. So during a short rest, when you use 10 to wounds downtime move on another character, you may speak supportive words to heal an extra hit point on them. When you do that, you also heal 2 of your own. So
Oh my gosh.
more healery now that someone has died. And she's sad and she feels bad about it. So she's gonna go more healery now.
Oh, I love that. I also, Kayla, just because you a few times while we've been playing have switched out your experiences. Have you
Yes.
made any other switches to those? What are
No,
yours?
we have Swamp Princess, and then by royal decree, that one does need to get switched because I just use Swamp Princess so much. The other one is Slippery, which I like.
Yeah,
So I'm keeping that
Slippery's
one.
very good. Slippery's very good. Love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Those are cool cards, everybody. Those are really cool ones. Oh, God. Also, again, people that are seeing the cards on screen, remember that when this game comes out, apparently every single freaking card is going to have its own art. And I want it. All right.
It's going to be so cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So that gets us through our level up discussions. So the next piece, and guys, we are going to keep tonight pretty tight, honestly. We're going to try to get through stuff to get us back in the place of being ready for next session. So this is regroup stuff. Justin, I thought it might be fun. You don't have to, because I know that we want to save who you are and what you are and everything. But do you want to just tell us what level 4 domain card you chose? And then
Sure.
people at home can guess what you might be?
Just the level 4 ones?
You can do whatever you want if you want to share stuff, but
You said, do whatever you need.
I just thought we haven't talked about you at all. If you want to say like
I'll note the 2 domain cards I got for level 4. So I got one as my level up option, and then I'll also might be fun to note the order or my what's the word heritage.
Oh
nope.
yes,
Yeah.
Your heritage.
Yeah, the heritage for like what background I did there.
Mm-hmm.
But for the domain cards, let's see, I chose for level 4 Book of Grynn and Lifeward.
Very good. Lifeward. Ooh. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have
I remember those.
another healery type, slightly.
Uh-huh. Yes.
That would help out.
Yeah. Very
I
good.
like it.
You
We
loving
need
it,
more
Grynn?
healers.
Are you
We
loving
need it.
I was like, I had those on John. That gives me some
I was about to
clues.
say, but you've got Codex cards because you said Book of Grynn, and I was like, wait a minute. See
Yeah.
that too?
So for
We're gonna have to
audience,
check with each other from now on.
yeah. For audience or people watching on YouTube, this is really fun because in Daggerheart, every class has access to 2 domains. So if you know a kind of card that someone gets, you can narrow it down between what class, but there's overlap, so it's not 100%. Like for example, the Bard has these purple cards are Grace. That's the Grace domain. The blue ones are Codex. Now, he just told us that he has Codex, so he could be a Bard, or he could be something else.
I will also say, last time we shared, I think, the Grace cards when you were a rogue, so no matter what we do, we share cards. It's
That's very cute. He's trying to hurt you. Yeah.
He's trying to hurt my feelings for when this one dies.
Trying to hurt you.
Yeah. Book of
They
Grynn.
want to note on the Orderborne Part 2. It kind of goes some way, but not too much. Took me a little bit to decide on like the 3 values for that kind of thing, but decided on going with the certainties of life. Not taxes. Never bothered with those. But for this character, death. It comes from
IRS, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
So for certainty of life, death. It comes for us all. For some though, she's just checking in. Second one, it's change. Nothing lasts forever. Third, fear. It's kind of the first emotion. Every animal knows it. It keeps us alive. But once there's no more fear, we can kind of settle in for that first certainty. But that's just kind of what it lives by.
Those are good. Fear is. I'm so interested to see how fear plays out as a. What are those called, by the way? The Orderborne. They're like. Do you remember what they're?
It's the dedicated
Tenets or
record 3
something?
stains or values like
Yeah.
that's, and you get, or it's principles, I guess.
Yeah, like
Principles,
principles,
yeah.
values. Yeah, fear is going to be super interesting how it plays in this system. That's very cool. Okay. Also, Book of Grynn, it has arcane deflection, which is super cool. We've seen this in other games. That is once per long rest, spend a hope to completely negate any incoming damage from a single attack on you or an ally very close to you. That would have been huge. It has Wall of Flame too, to create a wall of magical flame between 2 points. We struggled with this in the Befog, I believe was where we last encountered this. But then my favorite one that it has is Time Lock, where you target a non-living object within far range and that object stops in time and space.
I was thinking real basic for that. You got a bomb, turn it off.
So cool. I love 100%. I also think of the Zelda game. What's it called? Tears Switch. There's an ability that you can free stuff.
Breath of the
People
Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
People use it to like do all kinds of stuff. Like, so I thought
Yeah,
that
they
was
get crazy with it.
I thought that was very cool to see. Okay, so we've talked about your characters and who they are at level 4. But I would like to, before we move on to the session 0 piece, I want to preempt the conversation with thinking about the second part. So understand that, guys, most of what we've played throughout this point has been either modules that have been written by Darrington Press or that I've built out around those areas, but primarily that, or my Ribbet journey that I really wanted to tell. I really wanted to tell that story from the start. Thank you guys for allowing me to be selfish, because
Thanks for having us.
It was fun. Yeah,
good
you weren't
journey.
selfish.
I love that. But something that I find very important is checking in with players at tables to see what they want to do. Because what kind of game you want to play is important. And this can be, I know it's hard to think of sometimes, but one of those things is, for example, you're on a ship, right? This is a pirate ship, by the way. This is actual pirates. So if, for example, y'all are like, holy shit, we're finally with pirates, then it would be a mistake on my part to fast track you through the pirates and get you to the next place. Alternatively, if you're like, I am so done with being on airships, we lost a friend in the skies, it would be a mistake for me to keep you on the ship. So things like tone, what kind of, if you want to play a goofy game or if you want to play a more serious game, what are we looking for out of the context of things? So with that in mind, I'm going to give you, and this is not for everybody, guys. This is not everybody's cup of tea. Some people want to just be surprised. We're going to test it out here, though, because Chris and Kayla, you haven't played a lot of TTRPG, so I want you to see this kind of side of it. Plus, it makes sense that Daggerheart is collaborative. I'm going to give you some details about where you're going next before y'all make your decisions of what you want. Because you would know the Kinekozan Jags a little bit, okay? You wouldn't have ever seen it, but you can decide that for yourselves. The Kinekozan Jags are, first of all, a tier 4 area. It's pretty beefy. But it is effectively a mountain range, okay? So it's a very mountainous region. But there are a lot of rumors that some of you would have heard. Others of you might know that these would be true. Is that at night, it's correct. It just looks like a mountain range. But as soon as the sun hits the peaks of the Kinekozan Jags, they begin to shift and move. They actually have an arcane energy inside of the mountain range itself that is influenced by a thing that lives inside of the mountain that is surrounded with a lot of lore and mystery. But every day, the mountain shifts. What some of you might have imagined in your mind's eye, and how real that would be, you don't know, is that if a mountain exists, as day breaks, pieces of the mountain kind of rise up and shift into plates that move across the skies, floating islands, and as the day closes, resettle in different areas, so that it is an ever-shifting landscape. Though some of you would know, by the way, that people who live in those areas are very sturdy, very hardy type of folk, because there's a lot of uncertainty in their lives, but also that they tend to resettle in similar places over time. Sometimes that takes every day, certain areas go back and reset. Sometimes it's over the course of a month. Sometimes it's over the course of the year. There's certain properties that want to stay, that want to always be moving. They love the seasons, right? So they specifically live on areas, made homes on places that travel to the peak parts of the year and then to the valleys below other parts of the year.
A bit like space travel.
Similar.
You know,
Absolutely.
like the moon or Mars or whatever, you got to leave it a certain month.
100%. Absolutely. So there's that. There also is, though, there are people that have settled inside of the mountain. This is darker areas. You would know of vast cities that exist inside of these areas, kind of either alongside or in worship of the entity or entities that kind of help to power these mountain ranges. And there are areas below known as the depths. The depths are just my vernacular in this world for the Underdark, okay? Because this is not Dungeons and Dragons. There are areas that lead from inside of this mountain into depth locations. So, where are you guys most interested in playing? Are y'all most interested in being on this ship? Are you most interested in being on one of these floating islands? Or a city inside of one of these areas? Or in the depths themselves? Those are your 4 kind of areas that you can kind of pick from, okay?
Yeah. Well, what jumps out at me is in the areas within the mountains, I suppose, and in the depths. What story are you most interested in telling?
Is that what you guys would like to hear? Or
Oh, no, I don't know.
If something
Bye-bye.
has jumped, no, it's okay. If something has jumped out to anybody, I can take your thoughts, or I can tell you what my mind is drawn to initially.
Mountain City and like Underdark shit sounds pretty dope.
The
Personally,
depth
I would like
sound
to- go ahead.
rad to me just because
Okay.
it would get us out of the air, and I believe we need that personally.
Okay. All right, great.
And Jim would have loved it, so you know.
He would have loved it. That might also influence, and again, this is stuff that I left vague before we closed out. I didn't tell you guys where Marlowe Fairwind was sending you, right? So
Okay.
this is establishing some of that. I already had it in my head, and I think this is going to work well, okay? So what I would say, and Steven, did you have it? I didn't hear from you. Did you have anything, or you like that?
I like that. I'm pretty open. I mean, overall, like I enjoy your play style. You have a good bit of like haha fun, times, but then also can bring the dramatic serious moments in.
Yeah.
So if that's what you're interested in kind of telling, I'm down.
Okay. What about you guys? Are y'all, because again, this is like a weekly game and maybe your lives are really serious and you're like, I cannot have any more character deaths. We need to have silly goof 'em ups. That's fine. This is y'all's fun. What are y'all interested in?
I like how
Yeah.
you do it's been like the fun and games portion of the book, and then like a pinch point, and maybe there'll be a little funny haha here's Dandelion, but then it like
Yeah.
has a big I like that. It
Yeah.
feels like you get a good mix of both.
I like being put in danger. I feel like it gives a lot of stakes to things. The stakes make the haha funny moments funnier. They make the dramatic moments more dramatic, and they make like feeling your character roleplay wise more natural because
Mhm.
stuff's happening to you. And yeah, I feel like you've told a really cool line with that. That's kind of been really fun.
And I really like just the world building exploration, especially if we're doing something like the depths or even like the floating islands. Like there's a lot of new stuff there, new creatures, new things to play with.
Okay.
Personally, yeah.
Cool. I'll give you guys this information as well, okay? You guys know that the city is okay. Cerulean is okay. It's not as strong of a ward as it has been. But I want to give you guys, we were going at a very fast clip before. We were going between mission to mission to mission. You still should probably, figure out what you're doing and everything. But if y'all want to take some more time to explore, I don't want you to feel like you're under the thumb of the next thing. Okay? So you guys feel out what you'd like to do. And y'all have some threads to pull, But this is where I was planning on going with things, okay? And you guys let me know if you like this. And I'm going to real quick toggle away from this window capture and back to my little character thing. Okay, so you're on this ship, right? Remember that you have traveled for a day, effectively. By the time that you wake up tomorrow, you will have been on this ship for about a day. You still have one more day. It is powered by Dell at this point, but for the next day, you can interact with some of the world, which we will see on this ship, but it's going to be pretty brief. We'll keep it tight, okay, so that we can get you guys to the next location. Then what I had anticipated was that the area that Marlowe was sending you to is actually a village in the depths, okay?
We guessed it. We were all of the same mind. I love it.
But it is accessible through a city that specifically is underneath the surface of these areas. Y'all have been in the sky a lot, so I was like, what if we take you through some of the gaps in those plates? This city is only accessible during those hours of the day where the plates are moving, okay? And certain ships can slip through into these rock ports where they are moored off into the interior harbors. They are harbors inside the stone themselves. And then there is a city that is built around the interior of this mountain, okay? That is your entry point that will take you down to the depths. You'll travel to the village that we're going to. And my last question for you guys about the story, before we do that, do we like that? Does that sound fun and exciting for everyone?
Yeah.
Sounds rad.
Last question that I have is, what do you guys, and I think we might have already said this, but it's okay, we could toggle if we want to. What do you want the arcane component to be that you're retrieving?
You mean
This
like
is to
structurally?
to fix
I would-
the runes and stuff.
Yeah, because to recap, this is what you've been sent to retrieve is an arcane component that will, once delivered back into the hands of the Whitefire Arcanist, she will be able to use to power her spell. So, for example, you can make it a naturally occurring thing, like a flower that only blooms once every 6 months or something. You could make it a gemstone that grows in this area. You could make it the horn of a beast if y'all want to fight a big beast.
That's what I
or
would do.
something.
Yeah.
This is what you-
That you can only find in the
Where my
depths.
mind was going. Yep.
I was kind of thinking like along the lines of like some kind of like flower, not even necessarily a flower, but like a fruit or something that is like guarded by some kind of beast.
A sacred
Like-
grove, maybe.
Something that like
That's
maybe we
nice,
have to a pool that we have to collect some kind of like water or something from.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
something like that would be fun. I like the idea of like having to kill a beast to take something from it. I feel like think
Tank
Bill.
finds local Balrog for arcane item. That's the name of the next episode.
Yeah, that's it,
It shall
guys.
not
Y'all
pass.
figured it out. Yeah, no, I think that sounds like a good run.
Okay, great.
I have a suggestion that's
Yes.
related to those. I probably will just DM it to you if you want to go with it. You can. If
Sure.
not, don't worry about it. But
100%.
yeah, it's be a little spoilery if I said it
Alright,
here. And we
keep
won't
your
look.
secrets.
Yeah.
Keep your secrets.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. I think that this is all good. And again, guys, the whole thing is that I might find ways to tweak whatever we choose because obviously, but the point is Marlo Fairwind on the conversation to you, Anura, where we pivoted away, she would have told you what you were doing. Now, maybe something has happened to disrupt that plan, but the reason that I'm not trying to obfuscate and surprise you entirely is because technically inside of the game, you already know what you're seeking, you know? So I love this, and I will tidy up that, and I'll come back for the next game. with
So
that.
the city, how big of a city is it?
This, in my mind, guys, is a pretty sizable city. Not on the scale of Cerulean. Okay, Cerulean is like a capital city. This, in my mind, is. I really wanted to take us to a dwarven city pretty soon, but Jimbo died. And
Ruined.
Jindalia is a different vibe. So
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to make this. I'm gonna out myself here a little bit. In Critical Role Campaign 1, they went to Craghammer.
Yeah.
Very first city they went to. It was an underground dwarven city of primarily mining and industry. I like that as a concept here, but the thing that they would be mining is not necessarily gemstones here. What they're mining is the energy that they use. I'm not going to go too much further with this, but it literally is a resource, you know? Kind of think of the way that you mine air, like wind and stuff through turbines and stuff like that. Similar conceptually.
It's
It's not slave labor again. We're good.
It is not going to be slave labor, guys.
No slave labor. It's Energon for Transformers.
Yeah. Incredible. Wait, what? Yeah. So my idea, for example, and I don't want to paint too clear a picture because I want it to be surprising to you when you first see it, but it is inside of a mountain. You know, it would be lit to a certain degree by day, but fairly big. You know, I don't know, like Lufkin.
Huge city.
It's got a wings up in it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, Lufkin, you know, a little Beaumont moment. Like,
Oh my god! Lock the doors.
and honestly, in my mind too, the vibe is similar. Okay, like it's
To Beaumont?
yeah, girl, it's an industrial
Beaumont?
city. These are hardy people. Now, this is a great time to ask though. Are you hating that? Did you have a different idea? Did you want it to be like mystic?
No, I mean I'm fine with it. I just,
It's not Beaumont.
like-
As long as-
It's
I was
as
gonna
long
say my
as-
my
it's
aunt's
fancy
purse was stolen at the Outback Steakhouse. They
I can
busted
see-
out all the windows.
Your
I can see
purse
Trevor
might get
Belmont when you guys say that.
Oh shit! No. Your purse might get stolen here as well.
That's what I was like, okay, we're in the.
Yeah.
It's seedy. Ooh, hold on.
As long as I can have city hijinks
Yeah.
and maybe a fighting pit.
Okay. And that's 100% where I was thinking.
Yeah. Is it more city hood or like country hood?
city hood?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But like small city.
Because they're
hood.
very different vibes. Yeah.
yeah. It's not. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. It's more city. Yes, it is certainly more city. If I was like comparing it to like a cyberpunk story, for
It might be
example.
like more like 80s punk city kind of
Yes.
thing. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
But make
Amazon
it
vibes.
fantasy. Make it fantasy.
We'll make it fantasy. I got it.
And this in point of fact, and again, I'm okay telling you all of this because you would know a little bit about this area because your characters live in the world. I like to play a game where there are layers of knowledge. There's my knowledge of everything, except for what you keep to yourselves, but then there's player knowledge, there's character knowledge, right? And then there's stuff hidden even from your character. So everything drills down further and further. Your characters will already know a little bit about the Jags as this hard area to live in, but that people are really industrious, and there is an energy source in the Jags that is desirable, but can't really be shipped as of yet. Like it's only used there. So there both are things like in Dwarven cities, things that are unattainable by certain civilizations because they need that energy source. But there's also a little bit of a hardier people. And I want it to be, by the way, diverse, multicultural. But are there any ancestries you guys really want to see here? Like, are we looking more like fantasy, true fantasy, like dwarves or giants, elves? Or are we wanting to see... I think we've seen a lot of like the...
We haven't seen a lot of goblins.
I will say goblins could be hanging
I
out.
feel like they would live
Yeah.
down there,
Good.
and they would steal your purse. I'm just.
Okay, we gotta be careful
Whoa,
there.
whoa.
Fantasy racism.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm playing a goblin in my other game.
goblins duty.
He would steal things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've played 3 different goblins, and out of the 3, only one wouldn't steal things.
Okay.
Yeah, listen. I listen. We there. it has nothing to do with the goblin ancestry and everything to do with this specific area. Okay, like
It's the environment.
yeah,
Mhm.
because I don't think we can.
Nurture.
Yeah, I don't think we can spend a lot more time in pirate concepts, right? True pirates, but we can have pirate-esque, you know.
I was
But-
looking at the ancestry, and the goblins have sure-footed too, and this is a mountain.
They
I'm just
sure
saying,
do. They sure do.
it fits. It fits.
Hi, Bun
Yeah,
Bun
for sure,
Riri.
fitted.
It's good to
Hi,
see you. We're just talking planning for the next campaign, and then we're gonna dive into a little bit of actual play. But yeah, like, okay.
I
Nailed
feel
it
like
with fire, by the way.
fawns would be
Yeah.
in a mountainous kind of place too. You know, goat people.
I
Yeah,
think
There's a
hopping
difference
around.
for above the ground, just below the ground. You know.
Yeah.
And what about the depths? In the depths, any specific ancestries? Because you know I gotta pull in some fun girls, right?
Yeah, for sure. Fun girls.
I gotta throw some fun girls down there.
Maybe some orcs.
Some clanks.
Oh, I love the idea of clanks down there.
Some Dwemer from
Yeah,
Elven.
it's so
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
Skyrim.
Kayla and
Mhm.
Chris both are like, we play Skyrim. I don't know what it is.
I love Skyrim.
They do live
I
down
think we
there.
used one of the pictures of them in one of the super secret maps.
Oh, well, that would be. I didn't recognize
They
it.
are iconic.
I pulled it and I didn't recognize it. Okay, I love that. So fun girls, clanks. Maybe some, yeah, I like that kind of having maybe like elves, but dark elf version stuff, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Dark
Okay.
halflings.
Yeah, dark elves would be pretty cool.
You know what I also like about this,
Ooh,
guys?
dark
This-
halflings would be kind of cool.
like, oh my gosh.
Like those dark
like
gnomes in Baldur's
Duragar
Gate?
almost.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
I say Duragar, and by the way, I say that because Matt Mercer said that's how he said it in the earliest part of the campaign, but it's Dwagar,
Oh.
isn't it?
yeah, those are more dwarfs. It's the
Um,
halflings, I think.
Oh,
Gnomish.
yeah. It's a different thing.
I feel
Yeah,
like
deep ones.
there should be some like Qatari down in the depths, but they're like
Well, listen, now
skinless
we're
cats.
choosing everyone. Oh, skinless.
No.
Those are just lizards.
Yeah,
Well,
those are just
Cat
lizards.
cannibals down there in the caves.
Naked mole rats,
I
but
love
you
that.
know, there's not
I
a
love
rat.
this. I'm so excited about this. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just throwing stuff at
No,
you now.
this is all good. This is all good for me to know. What I really am hearing too, and what I like about this, is that sometimes as a GM and other GMs, if you're listening, pro tip here, sometimes you make the Game of Thrones writer fallacy, where you're like, I can't give them the normal things because they've already seen that. And it's like, yeah, but we've never played it. We want to
Yeah.
see a dragon, and we want to
I
see
love
an
it.
orc.
I
you
love
know?
it.
So
Mhm.
we're gonna take this a little bit more traditionally fantasy, I would say.
I love it.
I mean,
I love
honestly,
it.
that's what I've like. Honestly, like the entire time I've been doing like playing D&D, I never get the classic. Here's your, very classic party set. We're gonna go fight a dragon. Go do something very basic.
Right.
Do the classic hero stuff. Like, nope, we're always just.
Everybody's fighting cloud
just normal
giants.
people.
Nobody ever
Yeah.
fights a dragon. Okay. I love that. So I'm very happy to hear this. I'm so excited. I'm going to come to the next game with some stuff prepared. The last question I have about this, before we do a little bit of actual play, is, are there any rumors that any of you are excited about from that area? Remember when we went to the Sablewood and I kind of gave you concepts? Like I was like, oh, you're a ranger, so what's the most dreaded creature in this area? This is going to be like that, except for I'm not giving it to you this time, okay? If you are excited about a rumor that you've heard from this area, you say that, and I'll decide if it's true or not, you know? And I know this is a tough one also.
Maybe there's a rumor about some healing fireflies, like Legend of Dragoon.
Oh
Maybe.
my-
I don't know.
oh my
Somewhere in the
gosh.
cave.
I love that. Ooh, yes. Oh, I love Legend of
Sounds like a
Dragoon.
true one.
Yeah. Listen, yeah, I do like it a lot. You know what I'm saying?
We
It's
need some
also-
healing just in
also-
case somebody needs it.
It's also Legend of Zelda coded as well. You know, it's like everybody. Yeah, so good. Okay, I love that. Great. Plus, we got to keep fireflies in this. You know,
Gotta keep fireflies.
Gotta keep
in
them.
It's important.
the Firefly 4.
War is no more.
Some super dope glowing teeth from a land kraken that's like rumored to be underground. Maybe they're in there.
Glowing.
Land Kraken.
Teeth from a land.
Airships, land krakens. It's upside down.
It's all everything's everywhere.
Topsy turvy.
I'm not going to give anything away, but that's not as crazy as it sounds. And I also like that because Tank is as a fairy
Tooth
fairy.
fairy.
That sounds like something that you would have heard about as a little tiny fairy. You'd be like, someday I'll see the glowing teeth of the Kinekozan Jags, you know?
The teeth fairies with the fanciest teeth, you know, or talk of the town.
The final brain cell said, insert water temple in mountain here. Fantastic.
It got me. It got me.
No, it's owned by a pirate. Perfect. Guys. Yeah.
I think maybe that there's rumors of like a sister clan here somewhere that's like Ninja Clan. So we don't know if they actually exist or not.
Very
It's just one of those things. Again, a child's story. It's like here in this city, maybe
Ninja Clan
they
would
still exist.
Yeah. I think that's beautiful. Mountainous ninjas is a common.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the suggestion I was going to make was when my character was little, heard rumors about this, like, you know, don't be bad out, don't go robbing people at night, don't do, or, you know, anytime.
Don't
But,
go
you know,
robbing people at night.
Only in broad daylight.
Day like a man.
At night. There's basically like a superhero running around. There's a fawn, like wearing black face mask and stuff. They'll beat you up. Don't do bad things.
Just
But
My God, a superhero fawn.
Superhero.
in my 2.5-year-long campaign, I had a whole side character, whole plot thing written up. We never went to the town. It's fine.
That was, by the way, the entire premise of Mika Burton's character on Critical Role is that she was a superhero. She was a druid girl with like white freckles, and she put on a costume and saved people in the day. It was crazy.
It was lovely.
Well, that was very similar. There was a background in D&D. It was basically like a two-faced one kind of thing. Like when you're wearing your mask, you're a totally different person. No one recognizes you. I just like went off of that. I'm like, all right, making a superhero.
Yep. Fantastic. I love all of this stuff. If at any point, guys, you want to throw stuff at me, feel free to DM me stuff as well. Community, by the way. If you're not already part of our Discord, go be in our Discord. But if you are already part of the Discord, then you also have the access to me. If you have an idea you're super excited about and you won't freak out if I use it on stuff, then you can also let me know. You know, I'm happy to crowdsource material. You know, speaking of which, Dark Carnival, shout out Rabbit.
I know, I immediately thought it. Maybe after this, we have a little fun and game scary moment at the Dark Carnival.
I'm dying to kill a vampire.
I really would like
Vampires.
I would love.
I guess I don't know if they're at carnivals, but they would be maybe a dark carnival if they're at a carnival.
Yeah, I would personally love to find a time this month to do a Halloween game. It just depends on.
It is that time, isn't it?
That time.
Maybe that time of year.
Yeah, so we will all look for schedules to see if we can get one off.
That, or we're all dressing up on the 28th.
Well, we're doing that anyway.
Which day are we dressing up? Let me put it in my calendar.
The
What day?
28th, the Monday before
28th.
Halloween. You know,
Okay.
the Monday before Halloween. So, okay.
That's good.
All right, so that is all of that. So the final piece before we dive into actual play stuff is you will... what is the status of our armor and weaponry, guys? Is it all still tier 1?
Like our
I got the
personal or
Scepter
what
of Elias from Faerie.
That's right, you do.
I think you gave us a tier 2 weapons.
I think I did. I think I think that you have tier 2 weapons.
And I have regular leather armor. I do have a Valor Stone, though, for the last slot.
So-
roll it. If it lands on 6, don't use it.
You should have some money at this point, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
2 handfuls in a bag.
2 handfuls in a bag.
That's what I have.
Fantastic. You will also, throughout the course of being on this ship, be given another bag each by Calliope as compensation for your troubles and helping her to rescue Del. Plus, remember also that she has given you an open invitation to, at some point after you've recovered and taken care of whatever business you want to seek out that treasure if you ever wanted to come back for a pirate adventure. Okay? But the reason I bring this up, guys, is you're going to a city. Be thinking of stuff that you might want at a shop. Because at this point, when the way that tabletop RPG happens, right, is that at lower levels, you don't really have access to shops that have everything you want. But when you get to bigger areas, you have access to shops that have everything you want. Including, by the way, stuff that's not in the manuscript. If there are things that you are super excited about, throw it out. Let me know, okay? And I will just tell you if it's OP or not. But, like, if you want to get a dragon slaying arrow, well, you can have it. I'll set a price and everything. You might not be able to get it immediately. But be thinking of stuff that you want. I only say this because we have some people who have never been in tabletop RPG. And sometimes the first time you go into one of those stores, you're like, what do you mean I could just... And I'm like, yeah, I just go flip in the manuscript. And you're like, oh, God,
Yeah.
So that's kind of the little piece there. I love it when you get to go to a city, too. It's so
I
fun.
sometimes forget that, like, we're making everything up, you know?
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's why I think that these sessions are very helpful, too, is because I say this all the time of, like, in the real world, you know to pack your cell phone when you go on a trip. In fantasy worlds, you don't know if a cell phone exists. So how do you know to pack it? It would be unfair of me to say, well, you didn't know. You live there, you know. So, okay. You guys ready to do a little bit of actual play?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I categorized all my dice while we were doing all that because I knew it was coming up.
Very good. So, guys, diving in. Remember, the last that happened was that you had fled from the ship, the R.A.S Windfall, jumping across to the Crimson Cloud, where Calliope, the captain, has ushered you. All of those hooks, the grappling hooks, were removed from the side, and you had found yourself speeding away as Del had braced themselves after the events of the ship, still scarred from their time aboard the R.A.S Windfall, but had dug deep into themselves and put their arms out, and you saw that the power there that had been being channeled through the silver engine was inside of Del the whole time. The sails furrowed, and it began speeding off, leaving the Windfall in the distance to figure out what had happened. You are now traveling through the night skies of our continent, the stars glittering. Remember that you had all been there surrounding your good friend Jimbo and deciding, probably some of you deciding what steps are next for you as a group. Also, what needs to be done. Other members of the crew had, and you had all seen this, they have all begun cheering around you at the return of Del, at the return of Calliope. But as they all realize that your group there, in the midst of these celebrations, that your group there is having this somber moment surrounding Jimbo, they have all taken turns to come forward, and after hugging Dell, they have also placed hands of comfort on your shoulders. Some of them have made small offerings of drinks that they've poured out around Jimbo. Some of them have put small little beaded things from their hair on Jimbo. These are pirates, but they are also a communal group, it seems. And as those stars are glittering around you, you are here. What do you guys want to do with the rest of your evening?
I say we pour one out for our buddy Jimbo here. And I believe I have a beret that I got from a cave, Anura's people. I would like to put my beret on Jimbo's. I assume he's laying like this.
Yeah.
And if he is,
Yeah.
At the end of the guard.
I'm
Throw
gonna
your
put
head
my beret
down
on him.
You just got him flopped on the ground.
And get a mug with my friends.
Mm.
And Calliope has come up during some of this, remember, and briefly spoken with your group. He seemed a good man. Thank you for your service. Looking across to the group of you. We'll do what we can. There's not compensation that could take care of this, but we'll do what we can nonetheless. If you need anything, I'll be below taking care of Dell, but we appreciate you, and we'll drop you anywhere you need. You have a spot welcome to all of you. And she's going to, clap the closest person, I would say Ted, with what your face is currently giving. She'll probably clap you on the shoulder, and then kind of sorrowfully step away and take Dell to recover.
I would like
yeah.
to put the soap that I was always trying to get him to use on his buddy. So, because I don't need to try and get him to use it anymore. He's just gonna be dirty forever.
Hurtful. Yeah. Okay.
Ted would hold on to Jimbo's hammer, and would probably stay near Jimbo for the rest of the evening. Probably not resting well that evening.
I will give you some of the NPCs that you see around. You do see of course, we've talked about Calliope Crimson. We've talked about Del Pond. But others that you see a human warrior that when he came up to make the offering to your group, he kind of put his own... He seems the least likely to be aboard this crew. He has actual armor and a sword hilt, and he kind of knelt for a moment before kind of nodding and walking away. You also would have seen a giant of a woman, a giantess, with an eye in the middle of her forehead, who, coming forward, she would have taken very large beads out of her pocket, kind of a necklace, and laid it there on him after kind of moving some of the beads around. A religious rosary type of necklace. I'm sorry for your loss, and it's hard to lose a friend. And she would have then just kind of shouldered out. The third person that you see, however, is... He comes out of nowhere, almost having slunk from the shadows themselves. This is a Ribbet, though he is shrouded in black. Well, I've come to pay my respects to your group. Barnacle. The name's Barnacle. And he's gonna sheathe his dagger and kind of put his hand out to
Hmm.
you and
Nice
Nora
to meet you.
first.
Oh, yep.
Great.
She's brought it.
He'll reach his other hand out as well. He kind of
Yeah, I was about to say we
I'll
fight
swim in
for
the
it for a
back,
minute.
you know,
He
yeah.
saves us. You know, you get one hand, I get the other. Thank you for coming to pay your respects.
We
Yeah.
I
appreciate
really
it.
appreciate it. Jinx.
Are you headed to the Jags?
I
That's
think so.
that's where we're going. Yeah.
It's where the job takes us, I believe.
Unfortunately.
Well, I don't know where you're headed specifically, but there's you know, we have to deal with this from time to time, and I have some contacts in Chimergan. If you need the body, if you need your friend taken care of.
Thank you, friend.
Yeah. Anura's gonna look around, you know, make sure everybody's cool with that. She's like, yeah, we would really appreciate the help.
Does anyone happen to know the customs that dwarves vary?
Yeah.
I don't.
Mm.
I-
Ted,
Well,
what would the tree people that he belongs
Yeah,
to?
I think
My
Tim
God.
would know, yeah.
Yin clan tradition is that the body's burned and the ashes spread in the roots of the tree. If he
I
has
might-
any personal effects, those are traditionally given to close friends and family.
I do have that jar of fire that he blew himself up with that one time.
Do they won't need that? You should.
That would be kind of
But it just
poetic,
felt
though.
right, you know? Yeah, poetic. He would have
Um,
liked that.
He would have.
But with Yin
He'd like to
tradition,
try
if
both of
there's anything that you would like to keep to remember him, it's a way that we can honor our past loved ones and those we cared about.
Are we
Never
talking
mind.
about looting the body
I do
right
have
now?
his poncho on me, I think.
I'm hanging on to his hammer. It's what reminds me of him. It was something he used his pickaxe daily.
Mm.
You know,
If you wanted to keep his hat, Anura,
Yeah,
some
I'm just
solid
gonna take his
shoes.
hat. Oh, what'd you say?
He had some solid shoes too underneath his real shoes.
some solid shoes. He did have some solid shoes.
Looks off his shoes. That seems fucked up.
I
Fine.
think he would
the
like you to
ribbit,
have his
though,
hat.
the ribbit is looking very like, as you're doing it, he's nodding to himself. This is. He looks like maybe he might have been a rogue. We believe in using everything that could protect our friends. We can redress him if you're worried about
Oh my god. I can't believe we're talking.
I like this ribbit.
Tegan, and you see that they're kind of sitting or standing rather on one of the railings of the ship that you're on, standing there kind of her head bowed. You see a fairy. This is an insectoid fairy, and she is dressed extravagantly, okay? And she looks somewhat like a dragonfly almost. Purpley green wings that are iridescent and kind of flicker and shimmer. And as Barnacle looks back and asks for Tegan, Tegan kind of floats down and steps in front of your group. Yes, what can I do, Barnacle? What can I do to help? Well, they lost, you know, a friend. If you could, Oh, sure. Oh, do you mind? And Tegan kind of pulls out a small bead and fingers it slightly. It will stop the process to give you more time.
Yes, please.
Thank you so much.
And she's
Great to
going,
see a fellow fairy out this far.
It's good to see you too. Yeah. Okay. And she's going to take the bead and press on it, and it actually bounces a little bit, like a dewdrop. And she's going to push it onto Jimbo's forehead, and it seeps across Jimbo's body, and you see it almost shroud him very briefly in a faint purplish hue, and then sink in, and you see it's almost as though he is very subtly preserved as she casts Time Lock on this non-living object that is Jimbo. That's the way TTRPG works, Caleb. It's very sad.
Tegan's a character from the Marauders of Windfall, right?
That's absolutely right. Yep.
Sick.
She's not gonna right now, but she has it in her, you know.
It's a bard. I know this for some reason.
Yeah. Barnacle is going to kind of stand and nod, and then look to your group. And again, he is shrouded in black as he's taking Tegan by the elbow. Come on, Tegan, let's leave them. Now, I'm sure that Calliope's already said, but down below, there's plenty of space for all of you, you know. Just pick a hammock or in my case, a crate. and when we go to disembark, you know, Chimergan, I have contacts. I'll take you.
We'll see you there.
It's gonna kind of.
How'd you say that again? Chimergan?
Chimergan.
Chimergan.
Chimergan. It's
Chimergan.
It's one of the main cities inside of the Kinekozan Jags. It's well, you have to see it. But Anura, this would trigger your memory of Marlo Fairwind had let you know you were headed to Chimergan, which was going to be your access point to the depths.
Okay. So that is where we're going.
Chimergan.
Chimergan.
Get my
Chimergan.
Chimergan.
I love it. Everybody, we're all
Right.
doing it. Yep.
I'm getting it.
Yep.
I'm gonna misspell it. I'm gonna do my best.
That's
Thanks,
fine.
not very smart. Yeah.
Yeah, I could put it into also the chat just in case, you know, anybody. It's Chimergan.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, there you go. It's a rough spelling, guys. It's a wild one. I went
Access to
I
the
respect it.
depth.
Ermagerd spelling.
Ermagerd, absolutely.
Ermagerd.
Yep. So
Now, I will say, if y'all want to peel those shoes off his feet, it can't be Anura because she is actively crying, so she cannot do that. That's going to have to be someone else. That is where I draw the line.
we can, of course, guys. We can fast forward through that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's business.
Y'all can
There will
have-
be some body looting, yeah. But
Yep.
Well, it's the
you know,
dressing part of
respectful.
the
Yeah,
body.
you have
I
to
know.
dress the body. and
You know, but just loot that buddy on your
Loot
friend.
that body.
Yeah.
I would, even if Anora doesn't take it right now, I would hold on to his hat for her at some point.
Thank you.
I feel
Thank
like
you. When the
it's,
grief has let her go, she'll be happy about that later.
Yeah.
Now, my question
You gotta be
here.
haunted.
My
It's
question. Wait, what? The hat is haunted?
Haunted hat. Can you imagine? She puts it on, she hears his voice.
Well, that's
It's
another
from beyond the
rumor.
You put the hat on, suddenly you start getting dirty.
Oh God.
It was the hat all along.
He's
Yeah,
vindicated.
what's that? You get a hankering for mine,
You
and
wear that hat anyway. You're royalty. It's a brown hat.
I need to ask, and Justin, now for the rest of you, this is all above table. Justin, would your character be coming around now, or would you rather, they might still be recovering, if that would be a tomorrow morning thing?
It could be a tomorrow morning thing, but I think in the same room would be fine.
In the same, well, right now you're just on the deck.
Sorry, wherever this gets put. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Fantastic. Okay. So, to wrap this piece up, everyone, as the night progresses, Tegan, they have obviously made a great showing of being respectful to your party. They've given this gift of time lock to your group and everything, but these people are full of revelry. As the torches are being lit across the deck and Dell has stepped away, now the wind in the sails, Tegan begins playing a jaunty song on the fiddle because the rest of them are, remember, in a state of celebration.
Yeah, they got their friend back. Yeah.
They have their friend back. And these are the pirates that you had expected all along. They are all drinking. They are all dancing, playing songs to themselves. Some of them are doing what is a very dangerous game of climbing quickly up the mainsail and jumping off to see who can climb it and get back to the deck the quickest. These are Rosh's pirates, full of love.
And if you do that, I got 5 on it.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. Tonight, Ted, are you, well, I don't think anybody's doing that. Ted, are you participating in any of this revelry tonight? Y'all can.
No, Ted probably wouldn't. Not like out of like he doesn't think anybody else should. He would just he had a place for Jimbo in his heart. He's just feeling it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that probably adds a bit to the sadness of the moment of these are all things that yesterday some of you had hoped you would be experiencing and seeing. But this is how the world changes so quickly for you, right? Eventually, though, Dell cannot stay out for long. She is eventually, despite all of the love from her friends, taken below decks, and they are given a place to rest. And other people, there are still going to be some late night revelers who stay on board to talk and to drink quietly, some of them singing under their breath about
Pirate things.
But the rest of them, that are not on watch, either in the crow's nest, taking the late steering journey. This is, by the way, a standard ship wheel rather than that arcane orb that you had seen before. They eventually all make their way down to much less fancy scenery, guys. Down here, this is an area, remember that the schooner that you were on before was much bigger. Or sorry, this is a schooner. The cargo ship that you were on before, the R.A.S Windfall, was much bigger. This is a sleek and nimble schooner. Okay, schooner, I never know.
I don't either. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, guess as good as mine.
Yeah. There are captain's quarters, but below deck is immediately where all of their inventory, their cargo is, and hammocks, cots, where everybody is staying. There's not a lot here. So whenever your group is ready and you go below deck, you find places off to the side, some empty hammocks that you can sleep in. Some of you curl up there in the corner, maybe one of you with your arms around Jimbo for the evening. And eventually you all drift off to sleep. Unless anybody wants any little moment here.
Just want a little bit as they're nestling down. They do probably hear some like clattering, something falling. They can kind of peek over and they see like a little bird rummaging through some crates of food, and it carts off with some little fruit or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would say Tank deals with grief differently than probably my other 2 party companions. I think they're in a more gloomy mood. I think Tank deals with it more of what's the word? Yeah, distraction. So he's out about in the ship.
Okay, yeah.
Getting the digs.
Absolutely.
Ted's not like being rude or anything to anybody. He gives head nods and he's smiling. He's not one to like be a downer. He knows what's going on around him, and he knows that they know what's going on with him. So he's not like mad dogging people or like snapping at people or anything. Ted's a good guy. He's just in his place. Yeah.
Anura is full on sobbing. She's not worried about other
Yeah,
people. She's full on princess cries. Everybody's avoiding her
Bill-
because she is being
Bill-
gross about it.
Bill would be emotional support animal for you if you
Yeah.
need one.
She is in a hammock in a corner. She's got her emotional support Rooster. She has her back. She does not want to see Jimbo at all. She does not need to look at this corpse right now because every time she looks, she cries. So
I think I roll it up in a carpet or something.
no, it's out. It's in the corner.
It's out. No shrouds.
We're there, haunting the crew.
Anura, you would notice that of the crew, in particular, the giantess that you had seen from before, very frequently is near you throughout the evening. And not in any kind of an imposing way. She is not trying to make contact. She's just near you.
It's a sky shanty, last spring cell, final brain cell.
Is a sea shanty sung on an airship still considered a sea shanty without being on the sea? Sky shanties. Yes.
Sky
yes.
shanties.
Sky shanties. 100%, you know? I wish that I could remember any of them right now, but the only ones that are coming to me are from a Muppet Treasure Island. And I don't think that any of you want me to sing any of those right now. But this giantess, she does seem to be consistently around you. And you can sense off of her that it is her way of being there for you. And in point
I
of
feel
fact,
safe to cry when she's around, so I'm not worried about anybody getting me. There's a giantess walking around. So.
yeah, 100%. And there is even a Qatari that comes around occasionally and speaks in lower words to the giantess, and they kind of converse. But it very much is the energy of those people who want to make sure that there is someone around should you need someone without ever imposing.
Very sweet of them.
Two flying ships still have legs and they are just curled up. Yes. They have to. I love it.
Are they eating? Oh no.
They sure are. Listen, they ate. All right. So, any last things for the night? Okay. So, and guys, we're not going to be in this actual play for long today, so we are ramping into the next day. The next day, well, actually, Kayla, there was one thing that you and I had spoken about off stream. Is that going to happen that evening, or is it going to happen?
Let's let her cry. But I will say, if anybody doesn't remember from back when she was home, at one point when she was in her room, she had a note and some dried flowers that she kind of hid away. But she has that note with her now, so she's thinking about it. But we're not going to go into it tonight because she's just going to cry today.
Good cry.
Good cry. A good cry. She'll get back at it in the morning.
And the other thing that sometimes happens at night, Tank, you wouldn't have any dreams tonight. You are too far above the Sablewood. But remember that you have formed a relationship with the Glimpse. And that eye on your neck is, throughout the evening, flitting across everything, trying to take in as much as it can. Some of the pirates kind of talk to you about it and are very interested, though none of them shy away from it at all. And in fact, some of them kind of talk about their giantess friend, who of course is a cyclops. But no dreams come to you that night.
Had I remembered that I had that eye, we would have compared eyes when I saw her. But
I remembered.
I'll have to do it next time.
All good.
I'll never forget that
This
frightening
is,
eye.
again, 2 months out, guys. I knew there would be stuff that people had
Thanks for the
forgotten.
reminder, Ian.
That's why we're bringing it all in tonight. So the next day, guys, as you all wake up, the energy is different aboard this ship than it would have been had you woken up aboard the R.A.S Windfall. You wake up well. Some of you, probably your group, wakes up pretty early in the day. Who do you think is early risers amongst your group? Anyone in particular?
The
Not me. I'm a
the
princess.
chicken.
Definitely Bill.
Rooster.
Yeah, I was about to say Bill and
That's
Ted
true.
are early risers.
Okay.
Ted probably didn't sleep super well the night before anyway, so he'd have been up pretty early.
Okay. Yeah. So when you wake up that morning, it's probably still dark.
Yeah, probably so.
Just the beginnings of light creeping through some of the portholes that you can see off in the distance. You guys can decide if you're waking as Ted is shambling around and everything. You can have this disturb your peace and you can join him. But everyone else down here, the pirates themselves, they are heavily sleeping. Having drank the night away, there is loud snoring. There are people, Elgato, there are people struggling. It's so funny. It's always my favorite thing when the Elgato comes up. Like, aha, there we go.
There we go.
Oh, better.
I'm here. I was here all along.
So, would you wander onto deck? I assume probably.
Yeah, probably so. Just to get like some fresh air.
Okay. Is anyone joining him as he wanders onto deck?
I'm gonna go out there too.
Okay.
I'll go out there.
Sure.
I need some fresh air.
Okay. So you all,
The whole
and again,
team minus Jim.
I know. And this makes sense, guys, because again, none of you have slept well. You're all in a strange place. And also, you've all experienced this deep trauma together. So it makes sense that all of you would be at this point sticking together. Bear that in mind as you're remembering today's journey. But as you come up the stairs, rounding onto the deck, you all are here on the main deck of this beautiful ship. Though the sails have been raised at this point to slow the speed of travel throughout the evening to make it easier should an emergency arise, you see across the skyline. The first thing you notice is the hue. You are driving towards the dawn at this point. You are headed east. So you see pink and purples along the horizon line, all shining directly onto you. Some of you, as you step out, kind of take a deep breath of this clear, cool air in this sky. Maybe it's the first deep breath that you've taken since yesterday. And you're seeing as you look out that you have already found yourselves in some of the far reaches of the mountainous terrain that would make up the Jags themselves. Now, the larger peaks are farther off, but you can, from here even as you're looking out, see snow-capped mountains. And as that light is beginning to creep over, you see some plates that begin to slowly shift off of the top and begin floating out. One actually, as you're watching, drifts underneath your ship, and you can see a small town there. Just a couple of buildings. But as you're watching all of this and taking this into account, the few crewmates kind of smiling and nodding to you, you would see a shadowed shape. This would be Justin. Are you ready? Where are you standing, and is your back to them initially for my explanation?
Yeah, I would say away from them, just looking out over the edge, but probably about to be turning, heading down below.
Yep.
Would say looks normal as well.
Yeah. As you're now on the decks, you see standing with their face turned away from you, something that gives Ted, I would say you probably the first. Nope, I'm so sorry. This would have to be Tank based on traits. Tank, you as you step out, your blood runs cold. Because from what you can see here, the shape of this person is identically built to someone that yesterday you killed. The same broad shoulders, the same stance, the clothing match. You can see that coat rustling in the wind and a hat perched there, a tricorn hat on the head.
Thinking that it's Augustus Kane, I'm gonna go up and try to punch him again.
All right.
Thinking that he's back.
I will let you, Justin, take it from here. You guys can roleplay this out.
I would say, like, you see that you immediately start to kind of marching that way, but at the same time, they've already turned and started going downstairs. You rush, head downstairs following them, and they're walking pretty close to where Jimbo's currently laying. How they start to kneel down by there, kind of reach out towards him. So you just probably definitely when you catch up to him, and if you want, you can clock him in the back of the head.
Well, it was. We definitely spent like the last night grieving because this guy killed our buddy Jimbo, right? And I remember, I think how the combat started was Tank punched him when he was doing the slaver thing. So yeah, rushing by and going to swing and noticing that something's a little odd looking with this one.
It looks exactly the same right now.
Oh,
So go ahead and make an attack. This is going to be an attack. If you're
Okay.
just, yeah.
sorry, bro.
Yeah, this. Oh, Kayla, you're on mute, I think.
A good attack. Let's see.
I shouldn't have missed this interview.
I know. Yeah, I was like, my bad. Spoilers on.
What the hell? What do you mean? He
It's
looks
hard
like
to
a
unknow it. Yeah, because I was there on the stream.
Yep. Some of you got spoilers.
I did.
So it's a 9 with hope. Is he?
I'll briefly dodge out of the way. And whoa! Sorry, is this your stuff? I'm not trying to steal anything. I was just checking on this fella.
Hey, is this your stuff to Jimbo's corpse? You said you were by his corpse? Is
Yeah.
that what you...
Now,
Sorry, do I know you? I hit my head recently. I don't remember much.
Anura like
Oh, I
leans
remember a
over to
whole lot.
Tank and was like, that sounds like bullshit. That sounds what do you mean he doesn't know? That doesn't sound real.
I say we kill him again.
Yeah, I was about to say at
There we
that
go.
point, Ted's like lunged
Well,
out.
I'm-
Sorry, this
Spider monkey is
That's
Like a
your play
Jackson
part.
charm.
I love the craziness that's happening. I will say, as Ted, as you are lunging forward, a small geode of a bird kind of flitters off of the shoulder of this person and is trying to like tweet at you and attack there in the air.
And just, whoa. This is an illusion. Just exhale a deep breath and get the spores out. You'll
Wait, what
be
to
able
do?
to see me normally. It's fine. And assuming if y'all do, y'all see it kind of like fade, and you'll see like where it was a normal face is now kind of where it has been blasted off is kind of regrown a little bit, but there are now mushrooms kind of growing out of his face and trying to reattach parts that are disjointed, and shoulders and chest. It's all covered in more red and currently red mushrooms. Well, I'm sorry again. I found this. I was borrowing it. It didn't seem like anyone was using it. When I checked its memories, it lasts like things like of like frustration, anger. It was kind of pointed at this individual, so I was coming to see who he was.
What were you gonna do to him?
Let's see
You
who
gonna
he
check
was.
and see if anybody was using his corpse? What's happening?
This one, like I checked. Depending on how they look, I just kind of check their vibe and see what they thought. This one,
You're
had
body
it-
shopping? What
Yeah.
is this?
Well, I'm not looking for a new one. I got this one for a bit. I ride it out so it wears out.
Why
but,
would you choose that one over Jim? Just real quick, what was it about the body you're in now
it
that
was
made you
closer-
say,
Back to
this is
time.
the one?
It was closer. The bird can only carry me so far.
All right, well, you have bad taste, but whatever. Jim was better.
I'm
Jim
sure I was
was
gonna
better.
see what he cared about and just like just pay some kind of homage to who killed this body.
Hey, what are you guys doing over here? Hey, you need to keep your voices down. Oh, blusher. I don't like that one. What is that?
It's a zombie, I think.
I think it's a zombie.
No,
We're getting ready
It's
to
not a zombie.
kill it.
It's blusher.
Oh no, no,
Nope,
no.
it was Delver.
There's not more of these in
Delver.
Khmer again, right?
Delver,
Delver.
Yeah.
Delver, what is did you pick this one up off the
Yeah, no one was using it.
you can't okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah. This is just it's just one of the well, you know,
I'm just
I told you
passenger.
I
Yeah.
told you that if you use all parts of the creatures. You
Oh,
give
you did tell us.
everything back.
Guys, if I die, please burn me.
Yeah, I don't
Same.
wanna be that.
Immediately. Don't even think about it. Don't send anything anywhere. Kill me. Burn it.
So I do, as a GM, I want to share that, guys. I am showing now the art. We have 2 iterations, by the way, but Jocelyn, friend of the channel, she created this art for Delver, which is Justin's new character during our last show, which was my new interview segment called Choose Your Fighter. She gave it also to us in like 2 different colors. She drew this on stream and then made adjustments afterwards. There's a blue and a red version. Chat, let me know which one you like the best, because one of these is going to be the official version. I think I like the blue the more I see it. But guys,
I like the contrast on the blue.
I think that's what everybody is saying is the contrast. And I think we're going to go with that one. But this is Delver. Justin, do you want to explain what Delver is to your friends and also to the chat?
Yeah, I'll explain to the characters. Like, let me explain my whole deal. I was in an accident when I was little, and so now I just have to borrow, some bodies. I only got a little bit of me left. I got like a full transplant thing going on here. The bird helps me move when I'm between bodies.
Well, you can't have this one. And
Well, no, I wasn't gonna take it. I was just gonna check on it, and maybe check to see what he loved, what he cared about, and just maybe I don't know, see if I needed to do anything to help him like finish up anything. He killed this body, so that's what I got to go off of. Little things to keep me busy until I get back home.
Well, if that's all you want to do.
We have a poetic ending for Augustus here. I kind of like it.
Oh, is that who this was? I was guessing like a
He was not a great guy.
No,
I was
I
gonna
don't like
go for
looking
Clyde.
at him anymore.
Okay, well, yeah, it seems like y'all got a beef with them, so if y'all want to
No.
see him get beat up, I can, hang out with y'all. But
Well, the punch was for the other guy, not for you.
You
Nice to
didn't
meet
do
you.
anything.
Y'all are really
Delver.
tempted with this zombie.
Yeah.
What can you do?
What are you if you're not a zombie?
Well,
I
he's
mean-
just one of us. He's just a little different.
I'm just traveling.
I mean, all right,
I'm
That makes
disconnected
sense.
from
A
my
little
people.
different.
So
We're
I-
all
How long has he been traveling with y'all?
a week or 2. Not long. I've been trying to. Next stop was back home.
Yeah, Delver's we picked Delver up. He helped us out of a tight spot before, but this
Yeah,
is
that
something.
dome was running dry.
Listen, if you're headed to the Jags, you're gonna see way weirder stuff than this. You better get used to it. But
I love this little ribbit freak.
Okay.
listen.
Sorry if you explained the bird when it travels you. Is it like a mama bird situation or
More like
how
a
does that look?
two swallows carrying pumpkin or coconuts kind of thing.
Listen,
I'm
it's
just
fine.
like a little bit in here.
Yeah, I know.
Pop out the nervous system.
It's fascinating.
It's just a symbiosis thing, guys. It's not really a parasite or anything. You're like a fungal, right, in there?
Yeah, mostly. Well, some little bitishly.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like the sky hermits, the little they're like crabs, but they switch out the rocks that they live in, fly around up here. Delver's
coming
like
together.
that, but he's
Okay.
like a fun.
But with corpses.
Yeah, it's a
I got
little-
it. Okay,
No,
it's coming
weird.
together.
No, it's weird.
It's
super
grotesque,
dull.
but I
I
can see
could
it
probably do
happening.
it with like a log, but it's hard to move around.
There's a log.
Plus, he's
I
got a
can see
good
that.
trick there with the spores. You don't notice it at first, so it's a good
Yeah, I
defense
did it.
mechanism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, It's a challenge to keep up, but keeps people from attacking me usually.
This
All
one's
right.
way less creepy than the last one, honestly.
Yeah, he was missing an arm.
Yeah, tooth. Okay. Well, hey, you know what, Delver? It's good to see you. These are some of our. I think they did that. But
Yep.
so, yeah. But they're headed. They're headed to Chimergan, and
Mhm.
that's where you're getting off, right? The depths.
Yeah. Check out the family. I haven't been connected to him in a while.
Yeah. So.
Oh, do you know how to get to the depths?
Probably.
Probably, or you
Pain?
do? What? I was just
Pain?
asking. Oh my
I
God!
need a
Listen.
guy to
Oh,
help
okay.
you out.
All right. Jesus. I mean, I'm a very established frog. I can find my way.
I mean, if you need
I
a
was just
guy,
curious.
local
Hey.
expert.
You guys are going to the depths too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's where we're going. Yeah.
You
what
said there was
about-
more of this down there?
More of what? The
You said
Delver
it's like
thing?
family
I don't
stuff?
know, I'm
It's
not
like-
from
Well, you
down
s-
there.
You said if you think this is crazy, wait till you see the depths.
Yeah, listen,
Mhm.
it's not the depths, it's just the Jags in general. It's crazy out there, they got, do you see what's happening right now? And he points towards one of the portholes, and there is a floating island passing by, and just a group of naked people turn, and they're and then just as the island is passing by, he's like, what's
I
that
salute them
kind
as well as they go by. I finish saluting everybody.
that? So it's wild.
Nora's like, just like my romance books.
Yeah, you're like, what? Just right here?
Daddy Chef back at it. Yeah.
Yeah, you see someone begin jumping off, and somebody else grabs it. No.
I mean, to be fair, they're making a good point. It is dangerous down getting there. I mean, if y'all need a tour and stuff, I can help out. But if y'all can lend some muscle, help me get there safely, because people like to attack zombies. As you said, I can work out a trade there.
Okay, one second. Everybody else, group huddle.
Group huddle.
What are we feeling about this?
Talk to you too. Come on,
What are you-
Delver. Y'all both
Right? That's a zombie. It would be nice to know where we're going though, because all I know is we need to get to the depths, and we go to the city to get there. But I don't actually know where the entrance is.
I mean, to be fair,
And he is a zombie. Is he going to start smelling? I don't know. We have to weigh
You
the
should
pros
have
and
kept the
cons.
soap.
I
maybe
should have, and I
you
can't take it
should.
off his body now. I'll start crying again. So
Start crying again.
it's there now. So what's the vibe, everybody? Is it a yay? Is it a nay?
How? So, question about our past. The city that we came from originally. How long, or what was our we were in and out of there? What was our experience with that city? How big was that city in comparison? to the city
Cerulia?
we're in? Yeah,
Cerulia is huge.
it's the capital, right? Yeah,
Cerulia is the capital city. It's Baldur's Gate,
yeah.
but
were
of
we-
your imagination. So it's
We haven't been
bigger.
there yet,
Yeah.
though, right?
No, not in this game.
No.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this would be I mean, as Ted, I would be horribly lost in a city. I've never
I come
been
from
to
a
a
backwater,
city.
yeah. Walk across it in half a day. Yeah. So I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah,
It
no,
would
for
be
sure.
helpful.
I could climb to the top of buildings and look, but other than that,
Yeah. What are you thinking, Tank? How are you feeling about
Hank
this?
gets a coin out of his little pouch, and I flick it. I say we keep him.
All right. It's done. It's done. Okay, we're done with the group huddle.
Meanwhile, Delver is huddled up talking to Barnacle. Now, Barnacle is way shorter, right? Because, guys, just a reminder, y'all have been small squad, but this is a larger man. So we now have, 3 ribbits in a trench coat, but one just
Regular
regular
size
size.
Rudy.
Yeah. So, but Barnacle is there, and you're leaned down talking.
Yeah,
He's like,
on a knee,
okay,
yeah.
so listen, I can't. I know I said that I was gonna be able to help out, but I gotta. I gotta do some stuff. We got the, that map we were talking about. We're gonna start looking, laying down some tracks. So I can't stay with you. They might be your best bet, for.
Yeah, I mean, I was at least going to try to get some money off this dead guy, but thanks for backing me up there.
We've talked a little bit about this before, but like people, I know, and I'm cool with it, but people don't like that most of the time, so.
I mean, they're not using it.
I know.
No one is using this guy.
Listen, I could give you some pocket money. I really appreciate you getting me out of that.
Walking around money?
Some walk-in money, so Gator needs some walk-in money, so I could get you some of that. But I would just, remember what we talked about. Remember when you first met us and it wasn't cool?
Yep.
Okay. We don't want a repeat of that. You almost died. It was bad.
Y'all tied me to the pole, but yeah, it got better.
It did, and we love you around here. You're welcome anytime. It's gonna be okay. But Varian will get used to it. But I would just ixnay on the Obbing Ray their Ed Day Red.
Just memories.
Don't rob their dead friend.
I'll just check his memories. It's fine.
Okay, but maybe like secret.
I'll be polite.
Yeah. Okay. So oh shit, they're looking at us. Anyway, thank you so much for saving me. It's gonna be so bad to lose you around here, So it's it's but if you gotta do it, you gotta do it. Any team would be lucky to have. Oh hey guys, yeah, Joel, make a decision.
I believe we have decided that we will provide muscle for our friend here if he will provide a way to get to the depths.
Not a problem.
You find these terms agreeable? Okay, excellent.
Yeah, listen, it's kismet, sad kismet.
Yep.
And again, guys, I can introduce you to some of my my contacts. You said that you need like a cremation service.
Please.
Well, I can help out with that and everything when we get to Chimergan and but sounds like you guys are all set. And so with that, guys, you all here standing in the corner of this lower deck aboard the Crimson Cloud, sailing towards deeper into the vastness of the Kinekozan Jags, knowing your destination and having a couple of things on the to-do list, but one new friend is where we're going to close out for tonight's session. And we'll pick up here next week, having arrived there. Okay?
With your new zombie friend.
With your new zombie friend. We're having a little spoopy season, Kayla.
I love it. Yes.
Yeah. Oh my
We
goodness.
love the thrall.
So he will be slowly rotting over time, so I apologize.
That's we're gonna have to buy some new soap. I might be spitting some of my handfuls on some soap.
As a zombie does,
I regret that choice that I made, but it is what it is.
Good job, guys. It's crazy. That just seemed to
Good
work
job,
out.
everybody.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I said that I wanted to keep tonight's session pretty short and everything. Next session, we're going to be diving into stuff, but I have a lot to play with, and we're all at level 4. Y'all be thinking about what y'all want to do. But is there anything else for the night?
If y'all haven't already, make sure that you go. You can follow us on Instagram. We're on YouTube. There's Twitch. You were here watching us live. You should join our Discord for fantastic conversations. Instagram and Twitter. We're there, guys. Find us.
Thank you so much. And the last thing I have, guys, is that this art was made again by friend of the channel, Jocelyn. So I'm going to put in a couple of commands for her. Her commissions are open, so if you want to support her or go commission some work for yourselves, her links are there in chat. It'll be in the doobly-doo on YouTube as well. But thank you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Happy spooky season! I will see you guys later. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.